Happy Sunday, Surry County. I'm trying to get this thing set up. I have delayed releasing this video until in respect for Norman Marion, who was a friend of mine, and the family are friends of mine. I've known them for several years. So I've delayed releasing this till after his home going to heaven service today, out of respect for him and his memory and the family of Mark Marion, Commissioner Mark Marion, as well as others in the family. What I'm going to be doing, making short 8 to 10 minute videos explaining what's coming right after this video. Some will be text, some will be photos. When I say text, actual text, where Mark Jones is speaking to us in a group text, and also Gail Norman speaking to us in a group text, and where they actually implicate in those texts, specifically Gail Norman in one, taking instructions from Kevin Chenault in how we were going to proceed. And when I say how we were going to proceed, let me up front in this video, and I will prove and provide information going forward that although I didn't agree with their tactics and how they do it, and I don't agree with 99 or 95, I'm going to say 99% of how they scream, and not meaning that in a bad way, but there are professional ways to handle things, and one is not screaming and calling people names and stuff. If my thoughts, if you have aught with your brother, go to your brother and try to resolve it, which is what I've done with Mark Jones. I spoke with him on the phone. I've tried to resolve this behind the scenes, but in typical this leadership fashion, refusal is made. They've done nothing wrong, and I will be sharing something going forward to show, if you want to say, the narcissistic behavior or thought process in a conversation that lasted 20 to 30 minutes. Mark Jones admits that I'm right when I'm objecting and calling them out as being wrong, but then at 5 or 10 minutes later in the conversation, says I've done nothing wrong. So in the same conversation, I'm wrong, but then I haven't done anything wrong. So you can decide for yourself on that when I share it. What I'll be sharing coming up after this video, in case this group tries to say I have no idea what I'm talking about, or I wasn't involved with them, or the group text I don't have, they can feel free to, anyone that was involved in the group text, feel free to call me a liar in the comments, and I can share your name in any text that you might have shared, but I can definitely share the list of people that were receiving the messages in the group. So call me out publicly as a liar if you were in the group that helped, were aware of this, helped it come about. Call me a liar in the comments, and I can share the list of the group text, and it's showing everybody who was involved in it, but not everybody. Not anybody's going to be calling me a liar and say I'm not. It's going to have to be somebody in that group text, and I know they're in that group text, to say, Joe, you're not telling the truth. I was not in this group text. But again, I've called several individuals, left them messages. They refused to call me back. So I had aught, and I was trying to handle it, I believe, as should have been, behind the scenes for the best interest of Surry County. But anyway, let me go on record saying, when Mark Jones was first put into office, it was a claim made that he didn't reside here, and by Susan Kaiser McBride, and also Diana Gwynn. And I'm not going to talk about anything in regards to those two. Y'all can form your own opinions or whatever you want to do. My point is to make this information out there, but they were correct in the allegations. What happened and what went wrong, and I'll be touching base probably with the Board of Elections to ensure for the good of Surry County, if some allegation like this is brought forth is brought forth again, that their process needs to be changed in how they handle it. And I'll be talking to them going forward as well in the future for the better good of Surry County, if you will. So if this some group tries to pull this off again in our county, it can't happen, or at least they'll have a better handle on how to deal with it when it does happen. And how do you know how it was mishandled? Because I was on the other side of it and watched how it was handled going into the case, and saw how both sides were doing it, and the errors made on their side that helped ultimately gave Mark Jones a unanimous decision, although there was some perjurious testimony after laying his hand on the Bible, and I can prove that. Personally, I had phone conversations, so I'm speaking for myself, and personal conversations I had with him. They were lying. And a photo I will show, part of the evidence I'll show, if they try to say I have no idea what I'm talking about and it wasn't personal conversations and I wasn't extremely close to this, I'll share a photo of me and Mark Jones's kids playing in his house, in the living room of his house where he lives. I was invited over to his house a couple times a week, and I'm going to just tell you, aside from politics, Mark Jones has a wonderful family, and outside of politics, I've never had any issue with Mark. His family is great. They're kind. Has 2 wonderful children. Amazing, amazing. But there's something that changes, and I don't know what causes this in an individual, but there's something that changes with him when he's public and political and feels like he has power. The first time I ever heard that term come about, I was a precinct chairman, and he told me that I had power as a Republican in the county, or, was influential in power. And I said, what are you talking about? Because I never thought of it like that. And he said, well, you're one of, at that time, I think it was 27 or 29 precinct chairs. So out of all the thousands of Republicans in Surry County, you represent them. So you're one of 27 or 29, however how many it was, that is influential and has the power in the Republican Party. And the position, I didn't take it for that reason. I wanted to be something positive for our county and do something positive, which I believe we've done. And again, my entire efforts has been for the good of the children in this county, and will continue to be after this. But that photo will come. I'm going to quickly touch this because I don't want the videos to be too long, so they're harder to load. I've had enough trouble already. The first will be a video showing my personal interactions and relationships with Mark Jones and his family, to show that I was very, very, very close to this, and I believe ultimately was consulted in helping come up with the evidence for the hearing and help, I want to say, fabricate how we would handle it to cause a unanimous decision in Mark's favor, although the accusations being made were true. They presented it wrong, and I'll do that in the next video, how they presented it wrong, and I'll present that to the Board of Elections as well going forward after this, to make sure it doesn't happen again. The first group will be some, and I'm looking down because I've made notes, there's so much. Several screenshots showing direct proof of directions coming from Kevin Chenault to Gail Norman in regards to the cover-up of Mark Jones' residency here in Surry County, and ultimately the evidence that was presented at the hearing. Kevin Chenault gave direct instructions on what they needed to do to help create evidence, if you will, to present to help Mark Jones win. And if anybody, again, wants to call me a liar, I can share their names in the group text, that those messages, anybody in that group wants to come on this page and call me a liar, that the information I'm presenting is wrong, then feel free to do so, and I can share the group text showing that you were in the group. Mark Jones was registered to vote here. So the unanimous decision was based on that he was legally registered to vote here. But he did not maintain residency here. Did not. And I'm personally aware of that. Although the hearing, and that was how the evidence was presented, wrong, that I'll be going forward. And what allowed us, or allowed the group, I say us, I was a consultant from my PI days and my law enforcement days on procedures going forward. I may have mentioned that in the first video. So anyway, I will be sharing text regarding Kevin Chenault, a text this first time regarding Kevin Chenault's direct involvement and Kevin Chenault's direct instructions in what to do to help create the evidence or fabricate the evidence. And also will be coming a video after this one, or a sound recording, if you will, not a video, I don't think, of the cold-heartedness of and the two-facedness of these individuals who manipulate people, me in the past, and now individuals in our county, turning us against each other with two-facedness, good cop, bad-mouthing me to you and you to me, type behavior, trying to make you think that they're the good guys. We're on your side because we're going to point out to you every time Joe Barr says anything about you. Or to me, Joe Barr, we're on your side. We're going to point out anytime they say anything about you bad. And all that is done is create division, and I will provide a conversation and text to show that two-facedness of this group, and they're attempting to use that now going forward into this current attempt to maintain control of the Republican Party, which can't happen. I will say, and I'm going to mention this name because Keith Center and I were friends from the Marsh District, went to college. He was an instructor there. We got to be decent friends. Every time we saw each other, we'd shake hands. This group divided us, and I will show how they done that, and I'll show their exact thoughts in a text that was sent to me on what their true opinion of my friend Keith Center was, although they helped divide us as friends. And my prayer is, after this mess and after it's exposed, that he and I can shake hands and work together and be friends again. I will share that text coming forward. And, well, it's 11 minutes, so let me leave with that. Those are the texts from Kevin Chenault to Gail Norman. We're given instructions, will be one big one in this, and also the text showing their two-facedness, as well as the voice recording showing the cold-heartedness, given some things that have taken place in our county, and you won't believe it, I promise you. I will, as I post that, reference what I'm posting, the text, the screenshots of the text message, the sound recordings, any video that relates to what I've said here. I will post, and this is video number 2, and I'll label it as such. I will acknowledge or indicate on the information I'm sharing, because I can't do it and this by video, the text messages. I will say this is in regards to see video number 2, which this will be labeled video number 2. And when I post that, if somebody sees that and says, "What is this? What does this text have reference to?" I will say, "See video number 2," and they could come back here and watch this video, and then they'll understand what the information is that I'm sharing. God bless Surry County. We've got to fix this. I'm counting on you. Look at surry.gop.nc. If your precinct meetings haven't been planned, they're trying to hustle us again using liberal Democrat tactics, changing the rules, no different than Democrats did in our election, allowing mail-in voting. These people are trying to change the rules to disenfranchise you as a Republican in Surry County, and I can't stand silently by for it. We need to stand united in one voice, and these people are doing nothing but dividing us. God bless Surry County. I'll follow up, more to come.